Hello everyone, Dr. Alan Mandell here. Welcome back to my channel, Science of Healing. Did you know that chronic inflammation is now considered the silent root behind many of today's most dangerous diseases? Heart disease, diabetes, arthritis, and even certain cancers. What's even more shocking is that this destructive process often begins quietly, deep inside the body, years before symptoms ever appear. But here's the empowering truth. Your kitchen may already hold some of the most powerful anti-inflammatory medicine on earth. And today, you're going to discover the healthiest vegetables scientifically proven to fight disease, calm inflammation, and protect your body from the inside out. Right now, inside millions of bodies around the world, a silent fire is burning. And most people have no idea it's happening. It doesn't make noise. It doesn't send an alarm. And in the early stages, it rarely causes pain. But this hidden process is now believed by scientists to be the driving force behind some of the deadliest diseases of our time. We call it chronic inflammation. Not the kind of inflammation you see when you cut your finger or twist your ankle. That type is temporary and protective. It helps the body heal. Chronic inflammation is different. It's slow, it's persistent, and it quietly damages tissues, blood vessels, and organs day after day, year after year. Research published in major medical journals has revealed something deeply concerning. Chronic inflammation is linked to heart disease, type 2 diabetes, stroke, Alzheimer's disease, arthritis, obesity, and even certain cancers. In fact, scientists now estimate that inflammation plays a role in more than half of all deaths worldwide. Let that sink in. More than half. What makes this even more frightening is that most people don't know they have it. You can look healthy on the outside, feel relatively normal, and still have inflammation silently building inside your arteries, your brain, and your immune system. It begins subtly. Maybe you feel tired more often than you used to. Maybe your joints ache when you wake up. Maybe your blood pressure starts creeping higher each year. Maybe your waistline slowly expands despite eating the same foods. These small changes are often dismissed as just getting older, but in many cases, they are early warning signs of inflammation slowly disrupting the body's balance. Scientists have discovered that chronic inflammation acts like rust inside the body. Just as rust slowly corrodes metal, inflammation gradually damages cells, weakens tissues, and interferes with normal function. Inside the arteries, inflammation can cause the lining of blood vessels to become irritated and swollen. Over time, cholesterol and other substances stick to these damaged areas, forming plaques that narrow the arteries and restrict blood flow. This process is known as atherosclerosis, and it is the leading cause of heart attacks and strokes worldwide. What's even more alarming is that this damage can begin decades before the first symptom appears. A person can feel perfectly fine, walk around, go to work, laugh with friends, all while dangerous plaque is silently building inside their arteries. Then one day, without warning, the plaque ruptures. A blood clot forms, and the result can be a heart attack or stroke in a matter of minutes. This is why doctors often refer to inflammation as the silent killer. But the effects don't stop with the heart. Inside the brain, chronic inflammation can interfere with communication between nerve cells. Over time, this can contribute to memory loss, brain fog, and cognitive decline. Studies have shown that people with higher levels of inflammatory markers in their blood have a significantly increased risk of developing dementia and Alzheimer's disease. Inflammation can also disrupt the body's ability to control blood sugar. When inflammation is present, cells become less responsive to insulin, the hormone that moves sugar from the bloodstream into the cells. This condition is called insulin resistance, and it is one of the earliest steps toward type 2 diabetes. Millions of people live with insulin resistance for years without knowing it. During that time, blood sugar remains slightly elevated, slowly damaging nerves, kidneys, and blood vessels. The damage accumulates quietly until serious complications begin to appear. Vision problems, kidney disease, nerve pain, heart disease, all connected to the same underlying fire, chronic inflammation. Even weight gain is closely tied to inflammation. Fat tissue, especially around the abdomen, is not just a storage site for calories. It is biologically active. It releases inflammatory chemicals into the bloodstream, creating a vicious cycle. More inflammation leads to more fat storage. More fat storage leads to more inflammation. And the cycle continues. Scientists have even discovered that inflammation can accelerate the aging process itself. Chronic inflammation damages DNA, shortens telomeres, the protective caps at the ends of chromosomes, and increases oxidative stress throughout the body. This combination speeds up cellular aging and raises the risk of disease. That's why researchers sometimes refer to chronic inflammation as inflammaging, aging driven by inflammation. But here's the most important part of this story. Inflammation is not just influenced by genetics. It is heavily shaped by daily lifestyle choices, especially diet. What you eat can either pour fuel on the fire or help extinguish it. Highly processed foods, excessive sugar, refined carbohydrates, and unhealthy fats have been shown to trigger inflammatory responses in the body. These foods can spike blood sugar, disrupt gut bacteria, and activate immune pathways that promote chronic inflammation. Over time, repeated exposure to these triggers keeps the immune system in a constant state of alert. Imagine a smoke alarm that never turns off. Eventually, the system becomes exhausted, confused, and damaged. That's exactly what happens inside the body during chronic inflammation. But nature has also provided powerful tools to fight back. Certain foods contain natural compounds that calm inflammation, protect cells, and support the body's healing processes. These compounds act like firefighters, helping to cool the internal flames before they cause lasting damage. Studies have shown that people who regularly consume anti-inflammatory foods have lower levels of inflammatory markers in their blood and a reduced risk of chronic disease. They tend to have healthier hearts, sharper minds, stronger immune systems, and longer lifespans. This is not theory. It is supported by decades of scientific research from universities and medical institutions around the world. The message is clear. Inflammation may be silent, but it is not unstoppable. And the choices you make every day can determine whether that hidden fire grows stronger or slowly fades away. What if the most powerful medicine on earth wasn't locked inside a laboratory, but sitting quietly in your kitchen right now? What if the foods you pass by every day, simple vegetables, often overlooked, contained compounds so powerful that scientists compare them to pharmaceutical drugs? This is not science fiction. This is modern nutrition science. Researchers across the world have discovered that certain vegetables don't just feed the body, they actively defend it. They target inflammation. They protect cells. They strengthen the immune system. And in some cases, they can even help slow the progression of disease. These vegetables act like natural medicine. One of the most studied examples is broccoli. Inside every small floret of broccoli is a remarkable compound called sulforaphane. This compound has been shown in laboratory and human studies to activate the body's detoxification enzymes, powerful internal systems that neutralize toxins and protect DNA from damage. Scientists have found that sulforaphane can reduce inflammation at the cellular level, protect blood vessels from injury, and support healthy immune function. In one study, researchers observed that sulforaphane helped lower inflammatory markers in people exposed to environmental pollutants. That means a simple vegetable helped the body defend itself against toxins in the air. But the story doesn't stop there. Sulforaphane has also been studied for its potential role in protecting the brain. Chronic inflammation in the brain is linked to cognitive decline, memory problems, and neurodegenerative diseases. Compounds found in broccoli appear to help shield nerve cells from this damage. Imagine that, protection for your brain from a vegetable many people leave on their plate. Then there is spinach. Dark, leafy, and incredibly nutrient dense. Spinach is loaded with antioxidants that act like microscopic bodyguards. These antioxidants neutralize free radicals, unstable molecules that attack healthy cells and trigger inflammation. Free radical damage is one of the key drivers of aging. It weakens tissues, damages organs, and accelerates disease. But nutrients in spinach, such as vitamin C, beta-carotene, and lutein, work together to reduce this damage and keep cells functioning properly. Spinach is also rich in magnesium, a mineral that plays a critical role in more than 300 biochemical reactions in the body. Magnesium helps regulate blood pressure, control muscle function, stabilize heart rhythm, and calm the nervous system. Yet studies show that a large portion of adults do not consume enough magnesium in their daily diet. Low magnesium levels have been linked to fatigue, headaches, muscle cramps, anxiety, and increased inflammation. Adding spinach to meals is one of the simplest ways to correct this deficiency naturally. And then there is garlic. For thousands of years, garlic has been used as a healing food across cultures and civilizations. Ancient medical texts describe it as a natural protector against illness. Modern science now confirms what traditional medicine understood long ago. When garlic is crushed or chopped, it releases a sulfur-containing compound called allicin. This compound has powerful antibacterial, antiviral, and anti-inflammatory properties. Studies have shown that garlic can help reduce blood pressure, improve cholesterol levels, and support immune defenses. It works by relaxing blood vessels, improving circulation, and reducing inflammation in the arteries. Healthy arteries are essential for delivering oxygen and nutrients to every organ in the body. When arteries become inflamed and narrowed, the risk of heart attack and stroke rises dramatically. Garlic helps keep those pathways open and functioning. Even more fascinating, research suggests that garlic may enhance the activity of immune cells responsible for fighting infections. In other words, it helps the body respond faster and more effectively when viruses or bacteria invade. Now consider carrots. Bright orange, crisp, and naturally sweet, carrots are one of the richest sources of beta-carotene, a powerful antioxidant that the body converts into vitamin A. Vitamin A is essential for maintaining the health of the immune system, skin, and eyes. It helps strengthen the body's natural barriers against infection and inflammation. Without adequate vitamin A, immune defenses weaken and the risk of illness increases. Beta-carotene also plays a crucial role in protecting cells from oxidative stress. Oxidative stress occurs when the body produces more harmful molecules than it can neutralize. This imbalance leads to cellular damage and chronic inflammation. Carrots help restore balance. And here's something many people don't realize. Cooking carrots slightly can actually increase the availability of beta-carotene, making them even more beneficial. Then there are beets. Deep red, earthy, and incredibly powerful. Beets contain natural pigments called betalains. These compounds have been shown to reduce inflammation and support detoxification processes in the liver. The liver is one of the hardest working organs in the body. It filters toxins, processes nutrients, and helps regulate metabolism. When the liver becomes overwhelmed, inflammation spreads throughout the body. Beets help lighten that burden. They also support the production of nitric oxide, a molecule that relaxes blood vessels and improves circulation. Better circulation means more oxygen reaching muscles, organs, and the brain. That is why athletes often consume beet juice before competition. It enhances endurance, reduces fatigue, and supports recovery. But you don't have to be an athlete to benefit from improved blood flow. Every cell in your body depends on oxygen. And when circulation improves, energy levels often rise, mental clarity sharpens, and overall health improves. Another extraordinary vegetable is turmeric root. This golden-colored root contains a compound called curcumin, one of the most researched natural anti-inflammatory substances in the world. Curcumin works by blocking inflammatory pathways in the body, helping to reduce swelling and tissue damage. Researchers have studied curcumin in relation to joint pain, metabolic disorders, and chronic inflammatory conditions. Many of these studies show promising results, but curcumin has one limitation. It is not easily absorbed by the body on its own. That is why combining turmeric with black pepper is so important. Black pepper contains piperine, a natural compound that dramatically increases curcumin absorption. Together, they form a powerful anti-inflammatory partnership. Even red bell peppers deserve attention. They are one of the richest sources of vitamin C found in vegetables. Vitamin C is essential for immune defense, wound healing, and the production of collagen, the protein that keeps skin, joints, and blood vessels strong. It also acts as a potent antioxidant, protecting cells from damage caused by inflammation. A single red bell pepper can provide more vitamin C than many fruits. That means one simple addition to your meal can significantly strengthen your body's defenses. And finally, consider onions. Often used as a base for cooking, onions contain quercetin, a powerful plant compound known for its anti-inflammatory and immune-supporting effects. Quercetin helps stabilize cells, reduce allergic responses, and protect the lining of blood vessels. It also supports gut health by feeding beneficial bacteria in the digestive system. A healthy gut is essential for controlling inflammation because a large portion of the immune system lives there. When the gut is balanced, inflammation throughout the body often decreases. When the gut is damaged, inflammation can spread. This connection is now one of the most important discoveries in modern medicine. Here is the truth that many people are only beginning to understand. Food is not just fuel. Food is information. Every bite sends signals to your cells, signals that can either promote disease or promote healing. And the vegetables you choose today may determine the health you experience tomorrow. What if the biggest threat to your health isn't a single disease, but the small choices repeated every day without a second thought? What if the path to longer life, stronger immunity, and better energy doesn't begin with a miracle drug, but with something as simple as what you put on your plate tonight? Science is now revealing a powerful truth. Your daily habits are not just routines. They are signals. They are instructions. They are messages that tell your body whether to build health or slowly break it down. Every meal you eat sends chemical signals into your bloodstream within minutes. These signals can either reduce inflammation and repair cells or increase stress and accelerate disease. Researchers have discovered that the body is constantly listening to what you eat, not once in a while, not occasionally, but every single day. Small choices may seem harmless in the moment. A sugary drink here, a processed snack there, skipping vegetables because you're tired or busy. Individually, these decisions feel insignificant, but repeated over months and years, they quietly shape your future health. This is how chronic disease often begins, not with one dramatic event, but with thousands of tiny decisions made without awareness. Studies tracking large populations for decades have found a consistent pattern. People who regularly consume nutrient-rich vegetables and whole foods have significantly lower rates of heart disease, diabetes, and certain cancers. They also tend to live longer. In some research, diets rich in vegetables have been associated with a reduction in premature death by as much as 20 to 30%. That is not a small difference. That is the difference between years of vitality and years of illness. But here's what makes this discovery so powerful. You don't need perfection to protect your health. You don't need expensive supplements. You don't need extreme diets. And you don't need to change everything overnight. What matters most is consistency. Consistent choices create consistent results. Your body is remarkably adaptable. It responds quickly to positive changes, even small ones. Researchers have observed measurable improvements in blood pressure, cholesterol levels, and inflammatory markers within just a few weeks of improving diet quality. That means the healing process can begin sooner than most people expect. Imagine your body as a garden. Every day you plant seeds. Some seeds grow into strength, resilience, and energy. Others grow into disease and fatigue. The soil doesn't judge. It simply responds to what you plant. Your body works the same way. Feed it nourishing foods and it begins to repair. Feed it harmful foods repeatedly and damage slowly accumulates. One of the most fascinating discoveries in modern medicine involves the concept of cellular regeneration. Many tissues in the body are constantly renewing themselves. Skin cells replace themselves roughly every month. Red blood cells renew every few months. The lining of the gut can regenerate in just a few days. This means the body you have today is not exactly the same body you had last year. You are literally rebuilding yourself cell by cell based on the nutrients you provide. Think about that for a moment. Your future health is being constructed right now from the ingredients on your plate. This is why daily food choices carry so much power. They determine the quality of the building materials your body uses to repair itself. Choose nutrient-rich vegetables, and your cells receive antioxidants, vitamins, minerals, and plant compounds that protect against inflammation. Choose highly processed foods, and your cells receive excess sugar, unhealthy fats, and additives that promote stress and damage. Over time, these differences add up, not overnight, not instantly, but gradually, like drops of water filling a bucket. Scientists often refer to this process as cumulative effect. Small actions repeated consistently create large outcomes. Consider physical energy. Many people believe fatigue is simply a normal part of aging, but research suggests that chronic fatigue is often linked to inflammation, poor nutrition, and low intake of essential nutrients. When the body receives adequate vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, energy production inside the cells becomes more efficient. Mitochondria, the tiny structures that generate energy, function better. And when mitochondria function better, the entire body feels stronger and more alert. Even brain health is influenced by daily food choices. Studies show that diets rich in vegetables and anti-inflammatory nutrients are associated with better memory, sharper focus, and a lower risk of cognitive decline. These nutrients help protect brain cells from oxidative stress and support communication between neurons. In contrast, diets high in processed foods and added sugars have been linked to increased inflammation in the brain and reduced cognitive performance. This connection is so strong that some scientists now refer to certain forms of dementia as type 3 diabetes, highlighting the role of diet in brain health. Heart health tells a similar story. Arteries are not static structures. They are living tissues that respond to lifestyle choices. Healthy foods help maintain flexible, resilient blood vessels. Unhealthy foods promote inflammation and plaque buildup. Over time, this difference determines whether blood flows freely or becomes restricted, and the consequences can be life-changing. Heart disease remains one of the leading causes of death worldwide, yet many of its risk factors are directly influenced by daily habits, especially diet. The encouraging news is that positive changes can reverse damage. Research has shown that improving diet quality can slow the progression of arterial plaque and reduce the risk of heart attack and stroke. That means it is never too late to begin, not at 40, not at 50, not even at 70. The body retains an incredible capacity to heal when given the right support. But healing requires participation. It requires awareness, and it requires small, consistent action. Adding vegetables to one meal may seem simple. Drinking more water may feel minor. Choosing whole foods instead of processed snacks may appear insignificant. Yet these choices accumulate day after day, meal after meal, year after year, until one day the results become undeniable. Stronger immunity, better energy, healthier weight, clearer thinking, lower risk of disease. This is the quiet power of daily decisions, not dramatic, not flashy, but deeply transformative. Your future health is not determined by chance. It is shaped by patterns. And the patterns you create today will become the reality you live tomorrow.